Blessed and wonderful day. I'm Micah Rose A. Cruz, a teacher from San Pablo Elementary School. I am here today to present to you my study entitled Development and Validation of Module in Mother Tongue-Based Instruction in Mathematics 1. So to start with, here is my research problem. This study determined the validity of the developed module in Mother Tongue-Based Instruction in Mathematics 1 under the curriculum of K-12 for the school year 2020-2021. Specifically, this study sought to answer how may the module in mathematics in mother tongue-based instruction be developed and validated for the grade 1 pupils. However, the study sought the answers to the following questions. Number 1, how may the proposed module in mother tongue-based instruction in Mathematics 1 be developed? And number 2, how may the proposed module be validated in terms of content, design and format, and pedagogical? One of the main problems in teaching across different countries and regions is the subject of mathematics. More so, Ball et al. Of 2017 stated in their research that encountering problems about teaching mathematics was not unusual. Now, in addition to this, the director of the National Institute for Science and Mathematics Education developed at the University of Philippines, Dr. Merletan claimed that the achievement of learners in mathematics and science in the country was lower than in other nations, according to Quetta of 2011. Then, a result was released on December 3, 2019. The most recent PISA results showed that the Philippines had a score of 353 in mathematics, 357 in science, and 314 in reading. That all below the average of including Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development or OECD countries, according to Siriaco of 2019. Last year of school year 2019-2020, the recorded list of gathered data of the percentage of numerates, nearly numerates, and non-numerates among the grade 1 pupil of Magalang South District schools showed that there is a low number of percentage of numerates compared to the nearly numerates and non-numerates. Mother tongue-based multilingual education. It says that one of the different factors that affect the level of achievements of the students based on some studies is the language factor, according to Sagusha of 2016. In addition to this, way back in 2009, the Department of Education acknowledges the advantages of teaching children using MTB, MLE, or their first language. It was found out by the local and international research that children learn faster in speaking, reading, and writing when they are taught using their first language, and can learn second and third language through this. Likewise, they can effortlessly grasp other educational competencies faster, particularly in science and math, according to Luneta of 2018. Modules scaffolds the learning of children. Nowadays, due to the pandemic COVID-19, the DepEd Memorandum number 051 series of 2020 states that in catering distance learning, modular learning in print or digital format shall be adapted using self-learning modules or SLMs or alternative delivery mode ADM, self-instructional modules on competencies in subject areas where the learner failed. For my theoretical Theoretical framework. Progressive education is a theory by an American philosopher named John Dewey in 1938 from his book Experience and Education. It's a theory of education that talks about a hands-on approach to the learning wherein students must interact within their environment by adapting and learning from it. Children will have a deep understanding through challenging them through problems, projects, and questions. This was based around the children's interests and meeting their needs. By making this module in mathematics for grade 1 pupils, they will learn by answering each activity on the material by themselves. For the conceptual framework, the study developed and validated a module in Mathematics 1 in attaining the said objectives. A validation tool was given by the validators in determining the quality of the said material. Based on the paradigm of the study, the conceptual framework shows the flow of the development of the module until to the validation process, using the IPO model or the input process output model. The needed competencies were identified, the essential competencies and non-essential competencies, from first quarter to fourth quarter. From the curriculum guide in Mathematics 1, by the validators and designing of the module in the input, the process included the development and validation of the module, and the output of the study is the developed and validated module in Mathematics 1. So, as you can see, this is the paradigm of the study from the input to the process and the output. For the methods, the researcher used the developmental research in this study. It included the production of knowledge with the ultimate aim of improving the process of instructional device, development, and validation. Now, for the respondents of the study composed of two sets, wherein the first set consists of 15 experts in the field of Mathematics 1 from the Department of Education, Division of Pampanga, who validated the competencies to be included in the development of the module in mother tongue-based instruction in Mathematics 1. The said experts were grade 1 teachers who are self-contained and have attained bachelor's degree in education. The second set consists of 8 experts from the Department of Education, Division of Pampanga. There were 1 school district supervisor, 1 principal, 1 district mathematics coordinator, 2 master teachers, and 3 school math leaders from the Magalang South that will be or the validators of the said module. For the instrument, the researcher had used 2 instruments, which are the validation tools. The validation tools are the evaluation rating sheet for the DE and ODEL modules and evaluation instrument for topics to be included in the DE ODEL module were adapted from the College of Education in Pampanga State Agricultural University to determine its content validity. The first tool was used as an instrument for the topics to be included in the DE ODEL module. The name of the evaluator and his or her subject matter expertise will be asked to fill out. It is answerable by putting a check mark on the corresponding column. All the topics included will be listed and the evaluator will put a check if each topic is essential or non-essential. At the bottom of the column, there is a space where the evaluator might suggest topics that may be included in the module. Then the other page shows a guide for the researcher and the advisor for determining the content validity ratio. The second said tool, you will see the name of the evaluator together with his or her position currently handling and his or her highest educational attainment. This tool is answerable by checking the columns that says yes or no on the opposite of the written subcategories in which if they were applied to the said module, it is composed of 3 factors with corresponding subcategories. These factors are the content, design and format, and pedagogical. For the procedure, we have planning phase, development phase, and validation phase. For the planning phase, the researcher in this stage identified all the competencies present in the K-12 curriculum guide in Mathematics 1. The researcher listed all the competencies in the content validation instrument to identify those that are essential and should be included in crafting and developing the said module. Also, the researcher searched and checked the resources available to gather information about each topic that may be included in the module. The researcher contemplated and considered all 3 aspects present in the module validation checklist. Another, the researcher sought the help of 2 Kapampangan language experts. For the development phase, Stage 1, identification of learning competencies. In this stage, the researcher used the curriculum guide in Mathematics 1 as the basis in making the module, since it covers all the lessons from the first quarter up to fourth quarter of the said subject. However, those competencies that are only essential were considered in developing and crafting it. Also, each part of the modules were also identified and considered. For the stage 2, crafting the module, the design of the module was appropriately made for the grade 1 pupils, wherein it should be written in large font size. Also, to make it catchy to the eyes of the learners, the researcher will have provided attractive images where this was sketched by the researcher herself to avoid plagiarism. In addition to this, Kapampangan was used as the language for the content of the material since it will be utilized by grade 1 learners who are instructed using the mother tongue-based multilingual education. Also, the content and design of it were localized as to cater the learners living here in Magalang, Pampanga for them to easily associate their way of living to the activities that they will be answering on it, and this is according to the Republic Act 10533. Now, for the validation phase, lastly, to gather evidence to support the adequacy of the content, design format, and pedagogical of the module, the researcher asked 2 experts to evaluate the developed module as serve as the pre-validation process to check if the developed module meets all the indicators given in the module validation checklist. In doing this, the first 2 drafts of the proposed module has printed and presented by the researcher to the 2 experts. Then the researcher revised the said module based on the comments and suggestions of the 2 experts who validated the module that were included in the module validation checklist. Afterwards, the 8 experts validated the develop of the validation checklist adopted by the researcher from Pampanga State Agricultural University in the College of Education. The validators consist of 8 experts, 1 school district supervisor, 1 principal, 1 district math coordinator, 2 master teachers, and 3 school math leaders. The validators have validated the module based on the 3 indicators or aspects, which includes content, design and format, and pedagogical. So as you can see, here is the table 1, wherein it shows the development of the module in teaching mathematics. Wherein we have the development phase, the planning phase, the developing phase, and the validating phase. For table 2, you can see it shows the list of the learning competencies in the module in mother tongue-based instruction in Mathematics 1. After the content was validated by 15 experts, 32 topics got 1.00, 19 topics got 0.87, 7 topics got 0.73, 3 topics got 0.60, 2 topics got 0.47, and another 2 topics got 0.07, and 1 topic got negative 0.07 in accordance to the Lausche table for the maximum values of the content validity ratio per 15 number of experts. Therefore, all the topics that have results of 1.0, 0.87, 0.73, and 0.60 above were included in the proposed module in mother tongue-based instruction in Mathematics 1. It implies that these are essential topics that will help the grade 1 pupils to understand more the lesson in Mathematics 1. On the other hand, those topics that have results of 0.47, 0.07, and negative 0.007 were not included because these are considered as non-essential competencies. Now, moving on, we have the table 2.2.1, wherein it shows the first factor in validating the proposed module in mother tongue based in Mathematics 1, which was the content. Under the said factor, there were 5 items answerable by yes or no. All evaluation answered yes or agreed to all items. Therefore, the proposed module has met the requirements needed to the items number 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and 1.5. And all got 100%. Then another table, the table 2.2.2. It shows the second factor in validating the process module in mother tongue based in Mathematics 1, which was the design and format. This factor had also 5 items answerable by yes or no. All evaluators answered yes or agreed to all items except the item number 2.3. Therefore, the proposed module had met the requirement needed in the items 2.1, 2.2, 2.4, and 2.5 under design format that each got 100%. Although, there was one evaluator who answered no or didn't agree in item number 2.3 and got 87.5%. It implies that there is a need to improve in the item 2.3 for the 87.5%, which considered as one of the major important priorities in developing the module in teaching mathematics. Then table 2.2.3 shows the third factor in validating the proposed module in mother tongue based in Mathematics 1, which was the pedagogical. This factor had also 5 items answerable by yes or no. All items got from 3.1 to 3.7 got yes, and it's equivalent to 100%. Therefore, the proposed module had met the requirement needed in all items under pedagogical factor. Now, for the conclusion, based on the results gathered, it can be concluded that the module in mother tongue-based instruction in Mathematics 1 had met the indicators or the requirements needed in the module validation checklist based on the module validation made by the 8 experts. However, there is a need to improve to the proposed module reconsidering the item number 2.3 to add 12.5% to the result under design and format factor. For the recommendations, considering the result and conclusion, this is the recommendation. There is a need to reconsider the item 2.3 under the design and format factor based from the feedback of the 8 experts who validated the proposed module. And that is my study entitled Development and Validation of Module in Mother Tongue-Based Instruction in Mathematics 1. Thank you for listening and God bless.